in here. It's gonna rain like hell. Good girl, hon. Better get in here. It's gonna rain big time, hon. You're gonna get soaked, honey. Good girl, hon. You're gonna get soaked. Look at this rain coming in. Hey, Jet dude. Caught this rainstorm. Coming right toward me. Hey Cheryl, how you doing? Watching this rain come in. How's your day going? Yeah, that's how it is here, yeah. Oh, good. Glad you liked it. That's why I did it, actually. I like videos like that. Now, do the commercials wake you up? I could always send you that on an SD card if you don't want commercials. Hey, Linda. Yeah, it's hot. Oh, good. Oh, good for you. I can do one on a waterfall for you if you like that too. There's this waterfall. Hey Adams, how you doing? No rain, huh? Poor Detroit, they're gonna get more rain too. I'd rather hear water dripping than a waterfall, crazy as it sounds. I don't know why I'm attracted to places like that, but I am. Actually, I meant to look up to see what they wanted for that building. I mean, to me, demolition is like cost per hit. It's so expensive, which is why that building's been sitting there for over 40 years. It's actually for sale, but God knows what they want to tear that down. But if it didn't become considered as blight, and you could just leave it like that, I really think that would be a place that you could lease out for photo shoots. There's not that many of those places left. It looks like the Packard building and it looks like the Fisher Body in Detroit. There's nothing that replaces that empty look and those big long panels of worn glass with old motors and fans hanging off the ceiling. It's nothing that can compare to that, I don't think, as far as a nice looking chute. That's actually where I live, Cheryl, the little town where I live. And it's different every time you go in there if you wait a few months. I'm going to do another infrared thing where you can see the trees on the outside. But that day it was kind of cloudy. Hey, Tammy. Oh, I believe it, Gertie. That would drive me nuts. No, I don't know what I'd do if that happened to Daisy. She just went swimming. Daisy just went swimming. Hey, Dolly. Yeah, it's just a brief rainstorm. Power of attorney. I think they would. Yeah, they wouldn't have a choice in it. Is that a limited power of attorney or a power of attorney after someone's deceased? I'll check on that. I'm pretty sure they do. That's the whole idea, you know, people that are incapacitated and give that to somebody. No, I haven't stopped it. Nope. Oh, they don't. Interesting. Yeah, I'll find out for you. Hey, Brian. Yeah, we've been getting pretty good rain. Yeah, I'll figure it out. Oh, I believe it, Cole. That's nothing. They get you $800 when they impound your car up here. Hey, Cindy, how you doing? Hey, Penny. Such a ripoff. See, what a lot of people don't realize is this went up to the Supreme Court. And in the old days, you needed probable cause to run a license plate. So if somebody called and said, hey, there's this Astro van cruising the neighborhood, you just couldn't run the plate for the hell of it. Well, now you can. It went all the way to the Supreme Court. And insurance information is canned in the Law Enforcement Information Network. So you don't need the certificate anymore, even though it's a requirement by the state. So what they'll do up here periodically, they'll sit on the side of the road. Some departments have these scanning things that can scan 50,000 plates every 10 minutes or something like that, and it alerts you on the computer what's going on, if there's any crime associated with that vehicle, if it's stolen, blah, blah, blah. So now they can fine-tune that only alerts the computer when a car shows that it doesn't have current insurance. So it's a $400 ticket and an $800 impoundment fee. And it's not uncommon to see a lady on her way to work dropping the kids off at the babysitter. She's crying on the side of the road while the cop tells her that she's got to find a way home. He can't do it, and that her vehicle's getting impounded. It's just the way it is. I mean, before you may get lucky for 20 years and never get pulled over, but it's not like that anymore. Good, work in progress. How you doing? Yeah, it was hot up until this. Only two bodies? Oh, wow. No, I don't like the hot weather. If I never saw another hot day, it'd be too soon. Sherry's locked up, and I don't know what Becky's up to. Oh, 11. Okay. No, I didn't. I'll check my emails today. Yeah, what caused it is corroded rebar and concrete. Hey, Randy. Yeah, it's pretty much over now. It looked like it was really going to come down, but no such luck. Yeah, it's too bad about Allie. At least she got home or see her mom, and she was with her brother. You know, I got mixed feelings on that. I mean, people say that now they're at peace. I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think there's anything worse than being dead, and it's hard to believe that being dead could be better than being alive under any circumstances. On the same token, that's an arduous, difficult, shitty, depressing life. And if that's the only relief you're going to get, well, that's not for me to decide. But I think, I don't know, there's no clear cut answer on that, you know? Because nothing is not a relief from anything. You have to be conscious to realize you've been relieved of that life. And when you're dead, you can't do that. No, I never watched Soft White Underbelly. No. She did. Her mom died 2 days after she got down there. It's Tom, Tom Reed, Reed, 1956 at gmail.com. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm glad she made it home or not because, we're assuming that it was a big cake with candles on it, and maybe it wasn't. I hate to speculate on what went on. But like I said the other day, I mean, if when Allie was a little girl and brought into this world, and you'd have told her and her mother they'd both be dead within a month of each other, 50 years down the pike, I doubted they'd have believed it. Hey, Lorna. I mean, I think that it's the day-to-day guilt these people have. And maybe that's what keeps it going. I don't know. That your kids are disappointed in you, your marriage didn't work out, you've given up, and you end up down there like that. Sucks. Yeah, you would think that's probably true, Cheryl. Yeah, I watched a couple of those underbelly things. They don't really interest me. It looks like a big stage production with a bunch of lighting and stuff, and I don't care for it. it's like bringing somebody into a studio. It's just not the way I like doing things. Oh, thank you, Lana. Yeah, it's true, Rita. Yeah, I would agree with that. But we'll never know for sure. All as I know is that it's a shitty lifestyle. And it's tough to get out of. You know, when you start doing a channel and, uploading videos and, babysitting comments and doing a chat here and there, it's really hard to have time to watch other channels. But if you realize when you get behind the eight ball like that and heroin takes away temporarily, I mean, you got to pay the piper, and in a big way. This is not hard to understand how people would rather slowly die with careless behavior when they wouldn't consider killing themselves. It's weird, really. It's an odd dynamic. You'll roll the dice at getting fentanyl or getting murdered, but that drug controls your mind. And when you're high on heroin, all those things that you felt bad about before you shot it temporarily go away. And you're constantly chasing the dragon. Hey, Mama. Hey, Shannon. So I don't. It's the worst, man. You lose all self-worth. Hey, Frisky. You just have no respect for yourself. Your hygiene goes out the window. The chance of getting back on your feet diminishes greatly. And let me tell you, there's a big difference between being 20 and getting out and being 50 and getting out. It's just the way it is. And this reflects itself in the views that people get and the thumbnails they click on. Everybody wanted to save Raven and take Becky in, and all the young cute girls, they have a spare room. You ever hear anybody asking to save and bring Marguerite in? Have her live with them? That's because there's nothing in it for them. You learn a lot. I was thinking about this driving to take Daisy swimming this morning. I have learned so much through YouTube and all this crazy shit that I see on TV, and discrimination, age discrimination, sex discrimination, what people are saying behind your back. It has given me a virtual PhD in what's out there, and otherwise I wouldn't have known it. I could have met a lot of these crazy people at a cocktail party and thought they were nice and maybe would have got together with them for a dinner or something. But I've learned now there's a bunch of people out there thinking a bunch of things. And when they have the luxury of being anonymous, they can make mean comments. They can hassle people by calling social services and making false police reports. There's a lot of evil people out there. I got about 50 books on heroin. I got 1 million of them. There's a ton of them. I could send you a list if you wanted. There's 1 million. But you could read one and you'd understand the full impact of what it does to you and how it controls everything you do and how addictive it is. It's one thing having a psychological addiction. It's another thing having a physical addiction. So you always got, have you ever tried quitting something that you weren't particularly proud of? It's a bitch. And I'll bet you money that was pure psychological. Maybe not. But when you've got both of them nailing you at the same time, and it's a constant maintenance to keep from going into withdrawals. It's no shit. I mean, people call it the devil. I believe that 100%. That's a good way of putting it. There is nothing worse than that. I don't think there is. Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that gets me the most about it is how you'll get a young, cute girl. I guess she doesn't need to be cute, but look, who's shitting who, right? You know, if you don't think it matters that looks are part of the equation, then you're not being true to yourself. There's a reason why. It is another iron in the fire. If I was gonna have a kid, I'd wish they were, I'm not saying the prettiest person in the world, but I would hope that they were attractive enough to fit into society where they had that typical iron in the fire and they could at least get a bite at the apple of having someone like them, and if they wanted that, having kids and getting married. And when that goes away, it just seems so unfair to me, because it's like anything. If you don't have money, I think part of the good part about it is never getting it. If you're a guy working a low labor job in Detroit your whole life, and you think that, God, if I ever won some money, I'd go down and retire in Florida. Well, I think that's part of a carrot that you can hang out there that you'll never achieve, that arguably would be better for you if you never got there. Because there's all sorts of people that retire and go to Florida, and it's the worst mistake they ever did in their life. So you don't know what stuff's like. You conjure up these ideas. I've done it on what you think it's going to be like, and it's not like that at all. Look at all the rich people. Well, I lived in a nice neighborhood in Chicago, the Gold Coast, and I knew a couple pharmacists there, and they said the whole goddamn neighborhood was on antidepressants. And it wasn't because they didn't have money. It wasn't because they didn't have a private airplane or a place at Martha's Vineyard to go in the summer. Before you knew it, they got 18 different prescriptions they're taking, trying to feel good about themselves. And the only difference in them and a lot of other people was they had money. Hey, Mike. See you, Cheryl. Yeah, I don't even think you can get Dilaudid anymore. That's a super potent painkiller. Yes, it's just like that, man. You don't. And examples are people like Becky. Becky, this is what sells stories. If Becky was just a big fat slob that flunked out every grade she was in, she wouldn't garner anywhere near the attention she garners, because there's no comparison to what she turned out to be and what she could have been. Becky was really into figure skating as a young kid. And Becky's kind of looks like a lady you'd expect to be taking her kids to soccer practice. And she told me when she decided to leave, she left clothes in the dryer, left her kids, just left and never went back. Now, you would say, well, that's terrible. Well, what are you doing bringing kids into the world? And why would you do that? And what a shitty mother. Well, maybe that's true. But Becky made a choice and stuck to her guns. And even though I don't agree with it, it makes sense to me. Becky thought that having children and living that lifestyle was something that it turned out not to be. And the one thing you got to give Becky an A+ for, she's not lying to anybody. She has no intentions of leaving that lifestyle. I'm sure they're going to find her face down in an alley any day. But that's the lot she's picked in life. And she's not jacking off people for donations to support her drug habit. She's right up front about it. It is, Jeannie. Hey, Philip. So, I mean, and look at Tassie. My God, man. You talk about, as far as I'm concerned, Tassie's face ought to be on $100 bill. I mean, Philip, you get this. I mean, if you know all the examples, you look at the people who've died in the last few years, and then you got Tassie working like a goddamn slave at a hamburger joint, and somehow, some way, manages to stay in a positive mood. I'm telling you, if those people that do those TED Talks, you wouldn't need to get her a $500 outfit. You wouldn't need to have her a script to read. You could take Tassie, sit her down on a chair, hand her a microphone, and let her go, and you'd never get that many views in a TED lecture ever again. There's just some unique quality about Tassie, a resiliency and being straight up. You ever notice nobody gets on Tassie about scamming and ripping off people, and everybody's 100% behind her? She doesn't have any enemies, and she doesn't because people can glean how she comes across. And despite parts of her life that I'm sure she wished would have went a different way, she's acknowledged them, she stepped up to the plate, and she's doing well. It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's just Tassie is a gold standard of success. Moving from place to place, just hanging the hell in there. I'll bet you, I don't know this for sure, but I'll bet you Tassie's coworkers love her. Big time. Yeah. I couldn't have survived that life, I don't think. No way. And it's just this unique gift to like put stuff behind you. I know I've always struggled with that. Yeah, it's a great view here, yep. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah, her new Coach bag, yep. Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing too. I mean, they get on these people, even if you're a working girl with a drug addiction, you still want nice stuff. You'd still, that doesn't go away. You'd like a steak instead of a hamburger and a new purse instead of an old one. Everybody wants to criticize them because of the lot. They want to know why they're not asking for underwear and tennis shoes. Because underwear and tennis shoes don't give them that good feeling like a new purse would. It's a no-brainer to me. I don't understand where the confusion's at. Tassie's 34, I think. Yeah, girls will be girls. I think she's 34, Tassie. Right around there, 30. Her birthday's coming up, actually. That should be any day now. Let me tell you, I mean, hold off on a parade for me and don't anoint me. But anything Tassie needs, she's getting it for me. And let me tell you, I can't articulate this properly, but when Tassie calls me, I don't even think in the back of my mind, what am I getting conned out of now? What's this money really going for? And I can tell when she calls, she hates calling me. When she makes that phone call, she doesn't want to. And it's just 100% a no doubt in my mind. Oh, August 6th, okay. Yeah, Jeannie, I don't believe it works that way. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I really don't. I don't think police officers that rob banks on their day off should get extra time because they were police officers. I don't agree with any of that. There isn't anybody out there, including a nurse, that doesn't realize what she did was wrong. And I don't think she should get bonus points because of it. Oh, I believe it, Jeannie. Yeah. But until you walked in her shoes and until you understood the mechanism on what got her there, you're never going to understand it. You're always going to be looking from the outside in. People are people. Yeah. It is not fun. I mean, this sucks when you see your life going downhill and there's nothing you can do about it. I've been there before. Like you're on a goddamn runaway train. I never really realized till what runaway train meant. It's like, how can you just be on a runaway train? Can't you do something about it? Yeah, in theory you can. But before you know it, you're held captive by your own conscience. You can't get out of your own way. It's one banana peel after another. You're fucking yourself left and right. And you can't seem to get out of that. Hey, Mary. Yeah, it is, man. It's like you can't get out of your own damn way. You know, and you know you're doing this bad stuff. You're bullshitting your psychologist and lying to your probation officer, and this shit got grabbed a hold of your ass, and that drug's controlling everything you do. You're having careless sex, getting hepatitis, and HIV is the last thing on your mind. You'll worry about that after you get high. Really, man, it's terrible. And the thing that interests me is what gets them there to begin with. I mean, who in the hell in this world doesn't know what heroin's going to do to you? I mean, how do you still do this with all this literature and stuff out there? I'll tell you how you do it, because you have a mental problem. It's not normal to want to end your life slowly or quickly. It's not part of normal. Yeah, that's it, M&J, yeah. Hey, Thelock, you live here in West Branch? That's where I'm at right now, West Branch. You know where I'm at, don't you? Yeah, I know, man. I know it. I know it. It's really difficult. Yeah, major energy. Yep. Yeah, controls your damn mind. Look, I could go down to the casino right now and show you a whole goddamn room of people. Then 10% of them are just people having a fun day in the casino. The other ones got problems, which is why they got there. That's the only thing that can get them out of their doldrums. The low chances of winning. It's an escape. There's lights and drinks and food and anonymity, and you just sit down there and push this button in this mental haze, hoping that you win, even though the odds are against you. It's like drugs in a lot of ways. Drinking's the same way. Chasing the dragon. Big time. Yeah, you can get it a lot of ways. You can get it through sex, porn. You can get it through stealing. You can get it through drugs, alcohol. You name it. It's that feeling you get. It's like doing a great job cleaning the house from top to bottom times 1,000. Yeah. Yeah, thrill seeking, man. Who the hell wouldn't want to be thrill seeking? See you, Rita. I mean, who the hell wouldn't like to feel like you're winning every day? Yeah, I've always been kind of like that myself. You know, you just like you want to feel good about it. Whether people do it with shopping, buying things. Look at Amazon and QVC and all these things. Hoarding, same way, yeah. They think there's value in everything. Yep, hoarding. People do it with cats. I mean, if you talk to some of these people, or it's not like TV sells them. If you see the 7 o'clock news and they say, "Hey, Tom Reed in his farm in West Branch just got raided and he had 200 cats," and all of a sudden the news station comes over there and they stick a microphone in my face, and there's cats all over the goddamn place. And the cats, some of them are skinny, and some of them are fat, and I'm this big motherfucker. Before you know it, that's the story you get. Crazy guy has 200 cats. But then if you got me aside and you got to hear my story, which doesn't sell, you're going to find out that in my own fucked up way, I thought those cats were better under my care than they were out running out in the street getting run over. And that I did what I could to feed as many of them as I could. And because I wasn't rich, I couldn't properly take all of them to the veterinarian. And in my mind, I thought that all those cats that I saw and took home, that I increased their likelihood of living by having a place to go. And I did what I could. I bought as much food as I could. And yeah, I didn't go to the vet, and I didn't because I could afford it. So when you compare why I did that compared to the thousands of feral cats running around, am I that bad of a guy? But that's not what sells TV shows. I'm going to go to court. They're going to charge me. I'm going to be neglect animals. Even though there's a million people out there that let their cats go and didn't think twice about it, no one will ever know. So you got to be careful how this stuff's packaged. You need to get both sides of the story. If you took those 200 cats when they came over to my house and 25 of them were doing 3 times better than they would have had I not intervened, am I still a bad guy? See what I mean? Yeah, hey Chris. So you need to like get the unpopular version. Yeah, work in progress. That's hard to say. I mean, it's low odds. I'll tell you that. I tell people all the time, minus a crystal ball. I'm not privy to any formula that's gonna, put somebody in the success box. I don't even know what that is, to be honest with you. I don't even know, like, what's success. I mean, I do know what it is. It's Tassie. It's Kim right now. Amber's mother. But that could be faulty too. I mean, I'm not saying that. Could you get out of that lifestyle and not be successful? You better believe it. Could you be off heroin and not doing prostitution and be unsuccessful? Hell yeah. This isn't like a moral judgment. There's all sorts of ways to not be fulfilled. I mean, if somebody came out of there and they were a prostitute and they were drug addicted and they got out and they didn't give their kid a bath and didn't feed it properly, they arguably would be worse than when they were out there and their kid was under the care of someone else. You see what I mean? So I'm reluctant to like put a star on their forehead. Yeah, she is an amazing person. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, good, Shannon. Good for you. Shannon, too, is another example of, but it's a different kind of happiness, Shannon, right? It's a different kind of happiness. Yep. Yeah, majorly different. Yep. Like, and some people just are never going to be happy. So, it's just in their genes, the way they perceive things. Yeah, that's it, Shannon. Yep. Yeah, reality sucks. You better believe it. But that's because of the way we got brainwashed in school and through Hallmark movies and through Dr. Phil and self-help books. They actually created this fictitious hurdle for us to clear. And had that not happened, and we'd have had a dose of a reality at an earlier life, maybe we'd all be happy because the bar's where it's supposed to be. Yeah, the bar is 6 inches off the ground instead of 6 feet. Yep, that's exactly it. I think the problem with some people have, and that is that when you sit them down and they don't want what you have or this idea of what happiness is, they can't come up with something. They don't want to be a soccer mom, they don't want to have a career. They just rather wing it. Yeah, right, M and J, yeah. Yeah, that positive thinking, that's a tough one, man. Yeah. Hey, Kevin, how you doing? Yeah, that's the tough thing to do. Is come up, ask yourself that today. Are you happy? And what do you think would cause happiness? No debt, a 10,000 square foot house, a Chippendale dancer. People are looking for long term happiness. That's the issue. That's it, Mike. Oh, yeah, Chris, I believe it. Well, congratulations. Yeah, it's it, Jeannie. Yeah, Hallmark Life. That's why that stuff sells. That's why Hallmark sells. I want a life like Gilligan's Island. Just hanging around Ginger and Marianne, thinking I could screw them someday under the right circumstances. And they would all be dolled up and have nice clothes, even though we were on an island. That's my problem. I set this fake life up too. I was really hoping it was going to be this way. Get Ginger pregnant and have threesomes with Marianne. Threaten to kick Gilligan's ass if he ever walked in on us again, drunk. Yeah, you can see why at least I'm not wondering why I'm not happy. I know why. It's because Gilligan's Island was a show. Yeah, be great, wouldn't it? That's a problem too, is you got these crazy ideas on, what you'd like it to be like, and it's not reality based. Porn's not like that. It's not real. It's not it's not real. No, you think that, Luna. Yeah, I know. You would think that. Probably true work in progress, like Buddhism, living in the moment. I've tried that, living in the moment. I'm reading a book on it now, actually. It's got it right here. Right here. And basically they talk about uh that living in the moment's hard to do. At least it is for me. I gotta be reminding myself of that every 6 seconds. Oh man, that's nothing. You're not gonna believe the books I have. Yeah, it's crazy. You're looking. I do the same thing. I keep looking for the magic passage. And just have this heat wave of emotion. And my ship came in, and life's gonna be happily ever after. Yeah, I'm still looking myself. I'm sure they'll find me face down in a self-help book someday. Just ran out of time. My physical being ran out of time. Oh, did it right, Brian? No, I didn't, Johnny Pyle. Check that out. Yeah, it's a great place to be right here. I think it is. Yeah, heartbroken, but you may set yourself up for that. I've had. If you met my wife, you would realize. Well, you would think you knew what a big mistake I made. I don't think it could have got any better, and I still wasn't happy. Probably true, man. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I struggle with that meditation. I don't know why. 1 minute I'll be breathing deep. I'll feel my hands on the steering wheel. I'll look at the green. I'll feel the air across my 3 hairs on my forehead. I'll look at Daisy and be appreciative. And then I'll want to go home and watch Linda Lovelace deep throat a 10-inch cock. Right back to ground zero again. I'm not shitting you, man. Fucked up. No, I got one of these healthy bars. Healthy bars. Almond. Yeah, this microphone is so sensitive. I apologize for that. I know better than to eat in front of people, and I'm always thinking when I do this, there's no way they're going to hear this. Oh, okay, Chris. Yeah, I got the nut one. Oh, I believe it, Cola Bear. I'm in this way, Oh, there's Roush Racing right there. I got an idea. I'm probably going to go to my grave this way. Life's been pretty good in general, but I don't think I got fulfilled. I was always trying to. I've moved. I've, you know, had different relationships, and hell, I don't know the damn answer to it. Actually, most the money I have is I made a long time ago, like in the '80s and early '90s. My first detective agency I sold in '92 for $1,300,000, which seems like a lot of money, but it isn't after you pay taxes and you like nice shit like airplanes. And I got a place in Florida that I got lucky with. I haven't sold it yet. My wife lives there with her boyfriend. Oh, I'm glad you brought that up because I had some financial problems about 4 years ago. I was cash poor. And people say, well, how did you get yourself into that predicament? I'll tell you how. I was always buying things and holding on to them. And I had a guy default on a $550,000 loan. And I didn't, and I planned on using that to start another business. And when that quit, it was like, God damn, that was about, the time when the economy was in a tailspin. And I was in no mental place to start a new business. I couldn't work. So that's how that started. It wasn't just carelessness or drugs or gambling or anything like that. It was like that was money that I was planning on living on until I got going again. What I would do is I would go into a place. I mean, this fits a mentally ill profile. This is how I do it. I go into a place. Well, I lived in Detroit. I started out there. I would build up a business, get to know everybody at arm's length, kind of like my YouTube people. Build it up, do well, be making great money, and just get bored. It's like, I can see that if I keep this place, it's just going to go down the tubes because I don't give a shit about it anymore. It didn't matter that I was making a bunch of money. I never looked at things like, oh my God, this is going to be 30 more years of printing money. I would be looking at it like, I can't stand this any longer, and look for people to buy it. And what I would do would be to finance it and sell it to good employees. Not some jack off that run me out of business in a month, but people that had everything but someone willing to finance them. That's how I did it. So I would do that. I would build it up and sell it to people. And it worked up until Chicago. And that wasn't that great of an agency. It was okay. I mean, I could have used the 550 grand. But about that time, my mental health was in an all-time low, and I wasn't capable of working. When you're chronically depressed, you get short with people. I've always had kind of a bad temper. It never really caused me troubles. But, I'd be telling my best client to get fucked. And, I knew this. At least I was smart enough to head this off at the pass. And I wasn't too good at... There's nothing worse than hanging out with a bunch of nerds on a Friday night at a topless bar. And you did it because they, basically forced you to. That's one long night. And I didn't do a lot of that, but I did do some of it. And it's just got to where I ended up hating the clients that got me there. That even if I had to spend 1 hour with these people on my off time, it was too long. So I'd see the writing on the wall and I'd sell. That's what I did. That's how I am, Chris. Yeah, I'd walk off a job, no problem. Nah, I'm Capricorn. I don't believe in any of that shit either. Yep. I mean, I always liked animals. I was into aviation for a long time, skydiving, all that kind of shit. Going to Alaska, getting dropped off by an airplane for 3 months. I've been everywhere in Alaska. That was another search for happiness. My dumbass actually had this idea that I was going to go and live off the land, fuck society. Only thing I was worried about was no porn. So that's what I did. I went to Alaska. I went to Alaska a lot of times, but the time that I got dropped off by an airplane, I knew after about the 4th day I made a huge mistake. Now I know why that guy was eating those poison berries. Because you're thinking, I've only been here less than a week. I didn't see one person for the whole 3 months. And I'm already naming squirrels. I'm about ready to go crazy. Yeah. It's a big mistake. I wanted a farm. I did that. Thought I'd just be out there. I bred parrots on a commercial level. Dromedary camels, single hump. I just wanted to live in seclusion and have an income source and get out of society. No way. Big, huge mistake. Huge nightmare. If I had stayed in that business 3 more months, I'd have been broke and probably never recovered. But I actually found somebody just as dumb as me that wrote me a check for them all. Even when I moved to Chicago, I had a shit ton of money. I didn't work for the first 8 years I was there. Just fucked off, lifted weights, played basketball, ate out at nice restaurants. I had a non-compete in Michigan. I go back there and fuck around on the weekends. I've never been a big partier. Never smoked marijuana, never did any drugs. I would have, it just didn't interest me. I think my hang up was like sex stuff. Topless bars, massage parlors, porn, escorts, strip clubs, you name it. I think that really got a hold of my brain, and I didn't want to let go, to tell you the truth. I'm still that way, to be honest with you. Not really. I mean, like when I was younger, I was in a strip club about back in January. The manager of the Red Roof Inn wanted me to go. I was super bored. I don't really like the look of the people like that anymore. But when you're like that and you're thinking that way, you don't want anything to do with a traditional relationship. Hell no. They want a normal guy. Someone that's going to cuddle and in front of a fireplace and all that stuff, which doesn't interest me at all. I'd rather light my torso on fire with gasoline. I'd have more fun. Hey, Lisa. Yeah, I don't like them anymore. I mean, like that's going to happen getting older, though. I'm not into like metal faces and purple hair, and I like the girl next door look. And there's just not that many of them around anymore. And as crazy as it sounds, I was never into getting lap dances or any of that stuff. I never wanted to do that. And actually, I just kind of got out of doing that. Not because I, wouldn't have liked to come, but it's just it wasn't the same anymore. There were times when I would go into a topless bar and give them $50 to not bother me. Just get lost. I hate that kind of small talk. I hate that kind of small talk. Just talking to some, she's trying to make money, but I mean, I got a lot of hang-ups, but that's not one I'm not. I don't need a pen pal at a topless bar. Have a good day, Shannon. You know what I mean? That's not going to work. Daisy doesn't like these. She'll get one when we go home. Tell you one thing, I got lucky with Daisy big time. And the notion that how I got her just was super lucky. Couldn't happen again in a million years. I'm telling you, this dog is a supercomputer. She's a good girl. She knows Dad inside and out. When she hears Dad whispering to himself, it's time to go upstairs. She knows what's coming, a temper tantrum. Have a good day, Shannon. That's true, Jeannie. That's true. You're right about that. I talked to a psychiatrist about it. Here's where porn's a problem. When you got someone you really love and you want to be with, and you're watching porn, it's pissing them off, and that causes that relationship to go south, that is a problem. But like when I talked to the psychiatrist about it, and we went through, the questionnaire about, how does it impact you and all this bullshit, and he said, "What's the problem?" I said, "Well, that's why I'm here talking to you, goddammit. You tell me." He said, "I don't see a problem. Based on what you told me, you lying?" It's like, no, I'm not lying. Why would I lie to a psychiatrist? Totally defeats the purpose. He said, "Well, I don't see a problem." He said, this isn't costing your relationship. You don't seem to want that. You don't have a wife that's not getting satisfied. If that's what you want to watch, keep on watching it. He said, I thought, man, you know what? You're right. So it's not a problem. It would be a problem if I wanted a normal relationship, but I don't really want one. It is, Looney, yeah. It is, yep. It's true. That's why, I mean, I explained this about a week ago. Because people think I'm gay, or why don't I have a girlfriend, or... That's why. It's also why I don't have a wife that lives with me. It didn't really help things. She wanted intimacy, you know? I don't blame her. She said, it's porn or me. I said, I'll take porn. So, in a way, that's a similarity that I would have with Becky. I didn't want that life. Oh, do you, Chris? Yeah, I mean, that shows you how your mind works. I left that psychiatrist office thinking, I'm not fucked up as I thought I was. Why am I not feeling better? You know, it's this tornado of emotion. Right on. That's what I said. I thought if I ever save somebody from a burning car, or I disable a hijacker on an airplane and they want to interview me, I'm not kidding you. I'm going to tell them that it was the spirit of Johnny Holmes that gave me the power to do it. I am just so tired of these canned cliche statements that people make about going to Disney and Jesus and the Virgin Mary was on my shoulder. I'm going to say that the power of Johnny Holmes' spirit pulled me through. Well, I'll tell you why. You mean, why not both with regard to a relationship and porn? Is that what you're asking? I don't think it works that way. I mean, there's probably some lucky bastard out there that does that. Thank you, Penny. The church, no panties. I like that. So you guys know, you know the whole score. You're never gonna like catch me lying because you know everything. I just don't think it works that way. I mean, I don't. Let's put it this way. I don't know of any examples. There's a girl. I did some work for them one time, a long time ago. Their movies were getting pirated. Heather Harmon, iDeepthroat.com. I don't know what's happened to old Heather. I mean, I know people get older. But in their heyday, when they started that, Heather Harmon, iDeepthroat.com, I thought he was the luckiest son of a bitch that ever lived. But I know that's not reality. And they're still married. But her looks have really changed. Some people get better looking as they get older, not many. And I always thought, and I had women that would kind of go along with that stuff, but here's the dilemma. It, it wasn't like, I mean, I'm sure if my wife would have been all for this, we'd be together now. But it was always like this was a big, major hurdle that I was not willing to scale. I mean, let's put it this way to you. This is the best way I can articulate it. I don't know why, but it's just the way it is, okay? If somebody got a hold of me and said, Tom, I've been watching your chats, it's great. I love porn. I'm a female. I'd like to get together. I would run. And the reason that I would run is because my radar would be on. And after all these years of doing all this shit, trying these things, having it fall apart, leaving my wife, I know that the likelihood of that being real and working is so slim that it's not worth me rolling the dice to get it broke off in my ass. I was just trying to be a nice guy to the Indiana stalker. And God knows what that lunatic would have done if I'd have ever let her blow me or I'd have been interested in her sexually. I'd probably be in prison for the rest of my life. And all as I did was what she wanted to do. So it wouldn't be worth the gamble to me because it's so far outside the box of normalcy. It would be, if it seems too good to be true, it's probably a setup. Hey, Blue, how you doing? It does, Luna. Yeah. No, it's just we talk about whatever comes up. No, no point. Oh, really, Penny? Good. Yeah, I got it, Johnny. Yeah. Yep. No, I mean, looks like a duck, flies like a duck, walks like a duck. That's no shit. That's why sometimes, like in a discussion like this, at the end of the day, I'm thinking, I'm glad that I'm this old because this is getting to be less of an issue every day. And in a way, I'm grateful for it because it's not fun. It's not fun. Oh, really, Luna? Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, the argument by a lot of feminists is it's degrading to women, and I don't know about that. If I here's the deal. I know women that have asked me about, they know me through who knows going through the drive-through and getting the coffee for 10 years. It's like I'd like to ask you something. It's like, yeah, go ahead, give me a call later, no problem. Like I got opportunity comes up. I'm thinking about going to Las Vegas and being a topless dancer. I said, do not do that. Do not. We've got a little bit of a relationship going on. I want the best for you. Is there anything inherently wrong with that? Probably not. This is what I would base it on. Of all the people that were in the sex industry and what their lives were like when they got out of it, life's hard enough without doing that to yourself in this culture. A lot of overdoses, suicides, depression, dying in trailers where the heat was turned off in the mountains of California. It's not good. I can't explain to you all the reasons why, but I wish you would not do that. And if there's something I can do to help you, pick a plan B, I'd be glad to do it. Seriously, that's my answer. All that stuff. Yeah, it's just the way it is. I don't know why. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out there that got a PhD that is teaching at Yale, but that's like winning a scratch off. I'm talking about generalities, large numbers of people in everyday life. That's what I'm going with. I'm not going for the Grand Slam and the World Series. I don't do it when I gamble either. I'm looking for third place prize. The one where you don't get a 1099. I'm not looking for the jackpot. No, you're right, Johnny Pie. You'd have a whole new set of problems. But I'd like to give it a try. I would. Yeah, I really would. Yep. Hell, I don't know, man. I think everybody goes through this. Hell, if it wasn't for YouTube, I wouldn't have any life at all. I don't even know what I'd be doing without YouTube. I mean, really, it's the way I've been my whole life, but I got lucky on that. I got lucky with it. I mean, if there was no one on to talk to or interact with, God, I don't know what I'd be doing. Yeah, it's a good argument for that, Autumn. Yeah. Yeah, it really would. I mean, it takes up a lot of my time, and I'd say in a good way. I mean, I like doing photos and messing around. You know, I do what comes to mind. Hey, look at that guy. Got a new house going down the road. See, now that guy, he was thinking his whole life, if I only had a little cabin up north. And he finally got around to picking one, and now it's getting delivered. And I guarantee you, that's not going to be what he thought it would be long term. But you're not going to tell him that right now when it's on its way to being delivered. Enjoy the moment, I would say to him. Good, Autumn. How you been doing? Oh, thank you, Imogen. Yeah, it's good interaction with people, you know, just get on and like start talking about different things. It's fun. I think it's fun. I would never do it like, you know, go to people's house or go to a club or anything. It's weird how I do it here. I really can't figure that out, to be honest with you. Yeah, Daisy's a great dog. What happened to all these cicadas? I haven't heard one. I heard one, I thought. It could have been something else. Pretty weird. I'd have just heard one squawk for 30 seconds a month ago. What happened to these cicadas? Yeah, I think it's healthy, yeah. Yep. I tried the Christian route, the Methodist route, the Buddhist route. Oh, really, Bugman? Huh? Yeah, I can hear a turboprop up there. Hauling ass. I'll tell you, general aviation is dead in this country. Oh, you do the Christian Luna? Oh, good for you. Oh, it's a great dog. Yeah, it really is. I got lucky with Daisy. I thought about being a truck driver, but it wouldn't be good for me because just the idea of one terminal to the next, it wouldn't be fun. If I could go and screw around for 2 or 3 days every place that I would go to and had a car, I'd be all for it. But I'm not going to Kalispell, Montana and spending the night in a hotel and turning around and coming back without checking things out. No, I have not, Johnny. No. Yeah, forget about that. Yeah, they have pretty good seats now, though. You know, seats have come so far. Any kind of chair. You know, there's I've mentioned this before, and I think you could access this. There's a pain specialist called Dr. Daniel Claw, Clauw. I went to a lecture of his 6, 7 years ago, and I've talked about it before. If you go to the University of Michigan's YouTube channel, if you can't find it, I'll post a link to it later. But I just happened to be scrolling through YouTube as I was laying in bed last night, and I see he did a new lecture about a year ago, and it's very interesting with regard to pain and back pain and fibromyalgia and stuff. I'll post the link to it later. It's about a 45-minute lecture, but excellent and really kind of sums it up. You too, Autumn. Yeah, thanks a lot. Have a good day. Oh, Kalispell, no kidding. Yeah, I spent a lot of time there. Love Kalispell. I was just out there last September. If anybody's thinking of going to the national parks, I would really do your due diligence because they're jam-packed, overflowed. Can't get a damn hotel or motel anywhere near them. Bumper-to-bumper traffic. It's not like the old days. Excellent video. If you have problems with pain, this guy goes into different modalities and the way pain's been treated and the new breakthroughs and opioids and alternative medicines that seem to be garnering more positive results, and really good. He admits how the medical community treated fibromyalgia completely wrong 20 to 30 years ago. That the medical community was totally off base. Yeah. Yeah, off the beaten path, kind of fun. I went to that Tuttle, is it Tuttle? Tuttle Wildlife Refuge or Marsh over near Oscoda yesterday. It turns out you can take your dog back there if you want. It was okay. It's obviously a man-made dike, but they've done a good job with it. But you can't see anything from your car except one place. I did get a little video of a bald eagle 10 miles away. I can see where it would be good in the fall and the spring, but you just don't have good access to it. Yeah, it was all right. And it's a real pain in the ass to get to. I thought it was good, but it wasn't like what I thought. It's just this big, huge, giant tract of property that they've put this dike on. There's all sorts of stuff around there. I mean, you can't see anything from the road, and there's no place to pull over. There's one spot where you can, like, right where the marsh is. I probably won't go back there just because the access. I mean, I'm all for taking pictures of birds and wildlife, but I don't feel like getting on, putting a pair of waders on and, walking 10 miles. It almost struck me as like a sanctuary where you got to get lucky to see something. I'm sure there's all sorts of waterfall that's paradise to them, but for human viewing, not that great. Oh, really, Cola? Yeah, Yellowstone, geologically, it's interesting, but I don't think it's that pretty. It's cool to see all the, pools and steam coming up and animals, but it's huge, and I'd rather go to Glacier National Park, Crater Lake. Yeah, it said leave you. I mean, I don't know why they said that, because I don't know why the website said that. I guess they just want to, think that dumbasses are going to leave their pets in hot cars while they walk around, or that the barking dogs are going to scare away the birds. It didn't make any sense. I know what you told me, and I just thought, well, I'll drive out there, see what it looks like. It's huge, man. I mean, like, giant. It's like there's a million places you could have your dog, and nobody would know it. It's not like there's people around or birds, but you can't see anything. It's just this little Single dirt road with no place to pull over. You can't even like see where the birds would be 99% of the time. It's all grown up, and that dike that they made, the marsh itself, you can't see over the top of it, and there's no parking. It just sucks. Yeah, if you go on Google Earth and look at it, you'll see what I mean. You'll see that one big spot, and you can see those. That's where I saw that bald eagle sitting on the nesting box. He was just sitting out there looking around. My guess would be those are made for ospreys, but I didn't see any. But I went from the beginning to the end and came back the other way, and that's all I saw. I mean, that can happen anywhere, right? But it just didn't strike me as you're too far away from everything. The few places where there birds may be swimming around, they get the hell out of there as soon as you stopped your car. And there's not that many of them. I mean, you need a damn $10,000 drone to see what you'd like to see, and they'd hang your ass by the tallest tree if they caught you flying one of those back there, which I'm all for. I hate those damn drones. Hey, Nikita. Yeah, I do. Yep. I got my mailbox is full. I got a bunch of shit that I've ordered. I didn't even want to go open the mailbox. Yeah, I may go back there sometime, but probably not. There's too many better places. You know? This is one of my favorite spots right here. Oh, thank you, Luna. Yeah, I don't know why, man. Believe me, no one's more surprised than me. I guess they find it interesting that somebody is crazy enough to talk about everything that most people have enough sense to keep a secret. Like I said, that's why, I was just kind of got bored with photography, and that's why I named it Chosen One. I didn't care. I would have never named it that. I never thought anybody watched my videos. Just kind of uploading to myself. It's weird. I like going back and looking at my stuff like when it's 10 years old. Say, oh yeah, I remember that. It was kind of cool. I'm glad I did all those Detroit ones, because that was a one-shot, small time capsule. All that blight was interesting. A lot of green, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's reasonable that somebody could play this live and think there's something wrong with that guy. Probably is. I got a bunch of medical records to prove it. When somebody criticizes me or says that I'm nuts, I think you got a hold of my diary. You got a hold of my medical records. Hey Jeremy, I think I'm gonna go rejoin that health club. That's why I got my COVID shot. I have done a lot of things, but I never really thought that they were that interesting. Anything I did, I couldn't help it. I'm not kidding you. But thank you. Believe me, I've talked to psychiatrists before, and I just could see the wheels spinning. They must have thought, man, this guy doesn't have enough money to get straight. 1 out of 10 times they say, who's counseling who here? This is supposed to be about you, not me. All right, then we'll talk about me. Oh yeah, Massey. Yeah, it's not at all the same, especially where that Gordy. Yeah, you're right. Yep. Yeah, Gordie Howe Bridge. I think a good cheap barometer. I mean, I think I have good points and bad points. But if you say to yourself, if I had a son, would I want him growing up like me? Just like me? I'd say probably not. So if that's true, it's valid, then that's not like a happy face. That's the most lucrative business around. Gravel pit. Why don't I interview the Amish? Yeah, you need to go back and look at that Amish videotape. I can't go in the bakery anymore because they say I take pictures of young girls, which is a goddamn lie. Go look at that Amish video back about February, March. I uploaded all the audio too from the sheriff's department and the crazy Amish lady. I mean, it's going to seem like I'm defensive, but what happened? That old bag got me confused with another guy that drives a white Jeep, and the stupid dispatcher at the sheriff's department wasn't smart enough to differentiate one from another, but I don't care. Wasn't that great anyway. But what pisses me off is I interviewed the guy about 6 months before that owns part of that establishment, and I called him thinking that, boy, he'll get this straightened out. He knows me, and he didn't. He never even returned my phone call. So those Amish can go to hell. A lot of accidents happen right here. It's a terrible setup. So, and Amish don't like to be interviewed. If you put in Amish in the search bar, you'll see the interview I did with him, and you'll also see that problem I had. I wasn't taking any pictures of young girls. It's bullshit. I'm glad I got everything on audio. Because here's the thing, I mean, if you wanted to stick it to me and you didn't like me, that's the first thing you're going to bring up. Something that you don't like, oh, this guy's always talking about porn, and he's, of course he's probably taking pictures of young girls, a damn weirdo. I mean, it's all he talks about. There's a big difference between porn as an adult and taking pictures of young girls. It's like it's not even connected. And any photos I took up there, I uploaded every single one. It's not like there's a secret stash. And any young girl that happened to be in a photo, which to be honest with you, I tried to avoid, it was inside a horse and buggy. They were a mile away out in the field with a hoe in their hand. You get a better understanding of it if you listen to the audio. I'm very familiar with slander and libel, and if I sue somebody for it, it's to cost them a lot of money and to teach them a lesson. Here's the problem in both standards. You have to prove damages. That's the $50,000 question. That's the elephant in the room. Damages. You can't sue people and expect to be compensated because they pissed you off or you don't like what they had to say. So what are my damages? Nothing. Did I lose a job? No. Was I kicked out of the Boy Scouts? No. I don't like it. It's not true. But how did it cost me financially? It didn't. Therefore, and there's sanctions for filing frivolous lawsuits. So once a judge looked at my pleadings or complaint, and it got around to addressing damages, there's a good chance that he could sanction me and make me pay the Amish's legal bill. Yeah. Believe me, they deserve to get sued. But it didn't meet the threshold of a legitimate complaint. Especially that kooky lady that called me. What a nut job. No, pain. No, you got to prove pain and suffering. What do I do? Just go to a psychiatrist and document 6 months of therapy that I no longer feel like watching Pornhub. that I beat Daisy's ass when she begs for a bone. It's realistically to show something that cost me isn't there. It's not. And I'm not gonna, I understand when you get people that don't understand the law. Here's my neighbor, my buddy's wife right there. Those are the ones that want to sue. Hey, you doing anything later, lady?
What's that?
You doing anything later?
No. What time you coming?
I'm coming Thursday, 6 o'clock. It's my buddy's wife. So now it pissed me off. It doesn't bother me though, but here's another example on, you may say, well, this Tom Reed, he's recording phone calls. Yeah, I do record phone calls, and thank God that I did. First of all, it's legal. And in Michigan, I don't need anybody's consent. And if you tell me that you just had a gangbang instead of going to the church picnic, that is confidential. I put great emphasis on people telling me something in confidence, and I would not disclose that under any circumstances. So anybody that we've ever had a conversation with, don't think I'm going to tell your secrets. I'm not. But when you're trying to get me in trouble and accusing me of being a drug dealer or weird shit, I'm going to upload that recording. Here's how I do it. Everything's recorded automatically. And 99.9% of the time, it's no big deal. Every 3 months, I cut and paste them, make a folder, and just keep them there, because you never know. And thank God that I did that with the Amish, and thank God I did that with the Indiana Stalker. And it saved my ass, because if I didn't have that, it's quite logical to think that there may be some credibility about me out there doing weird shit. So I did it to save my ass. And you know what? It worked. I was quite happy to go away and simply drop Sharon. I took down all her videos and not say a word to anybody. I really was. But as soon as she started going out there and putting a lot of weird shit, I felt that it was necessary for people to find out what the real Sharon was like in a candid conversation. And thank God I did. Because without that, God knows what you guys would think of me. Because if you don't know any better, she comes across as just an innocent, struggling, drug-addicted girl that's trying to do the right thing. Nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing. And you know that based on those conversations. So that's why I did it. Protecting my ass. I'm not stupid. I mean, I'm really stupid about some things. Yeah, thank you, Luna. Yeah. So, but if I was watching another YouTube channel and I see somebody, they're always uploading these record, I would really think twice about it. It's like, what in the hell's going on with this person? Why would they do that? And look, right out of the chute, there's tons of people that get offended when I didn't let people know that I was recording their call. I'll tell you why I didn't. Because I didn't have to. Do you think if I'd have told Sharon at the beginning, or those Amish people, or that dispatcher at the sheriff's department, hey, I just thought I'd let you know out of courtesy I'm recording this call, they wouldn't have meant shit. Nothing. And if you're not doing something that's going to make you look in a different light to some person from the outside, what do you have to worry about? 99.9% of my conversations, if I uploaded, you wouldn't think a thing of. You know why? Because the people are normal, they didn't lie, and there's nothing that they were trying to keep a secret. It would mean nothing. Single consent state, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. And here's another thing that people get mixed up all the time. They misunderstand the eavesdropping law compared to the one-party consent law. They get them mixed up. That's why I don't even entertain discussing with anybody on a chat or in comments on a video about recording phone calls. I know it inside and out. It's been tested. I can cite you the case law. There's nothing they can do. I'm not a moron. And believe me, the last thing that I would do would be to upload those phone calls if I thought I'd get in trouble for it or if it was illegal. I wouldn't do it. I mean, I'm not that dumb. I've done some really stupid things, but that's not one of them. Well, you know, I mean, I'm still a licensed private detective, but I don't do it. If you wanted me to do something, I'd probably find a way to talk my way out of it. But I've done it like for 30 years full time, and really not much for the last 10 years. I am so out of the box. If you need help with the stalker, feel free to call me. I won't charge you. It's no problem. I run background profiles for free all the time for people. You just deal me with it. I'll be able to help you out. I'm not going to tell you who, but I just helped somebody from a stalker on YouTube big time, and it shut him down dead in the water. So, and even people that I don't like Debbie and Flint, when somebody was putting something out there about her child, I deleted it and blocked him and told her about it. I don't want to have any communication with her, but to me that's dirty pool. Frank Nitti down in Detroit, asshole, jerk, wouldn't give him the time of day. But when you start calling the Department of Social Services on his kid just as a means of harassment, not cool, not good at all. And you'll see if you looked at one of his videos, I told him how to get a copy of the audio so he can decipher who did that. That's just not doing that. It's not good. I mean, even someone I don't like, there's certain basic protections that I think I owe them if I have knowledge about it. It is legal, yeah. Thank God it's legal. Let me tell you, when I was in Florida, I was screwed. Unless you got that beep every 8 seconds. That's why you'll notice when you call customer service and they'll tell you this phone call is being recorded for quality. It's bullshit. That's their way of putting you on notice that this call is being recorded. And they can, you can say whatever you want with regard to what it's going to be used for. But it's recorded and it's legal. So, when you're Etch-a-Sketch, the knob comes off and you weren't able to draw one picture, and in a drunken rage you call up and say you're going to mail them 10 tons of TNT because you're pissed, they can use that against you. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out there doing it for quality assurance, but by and large it's to break it off in your ass if they need it. They're doing the same thing I am. But they're a one-party consent state, and that's why they have to do that. Well, nobody'd read it, Luna. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I mean, the YouTube thing, too. I didn't start getting any money till about 2.5 years ago, and there's all sorts of shit that I pay for. And if you did, and I don't talk about it because I don't think that's cool, but if you, not counting my time, and this is since 2007, and really not even counting my camera equipment and computers, I am still in the hole big time, which I'm fine with. But people really seem to have a problem when they know you're getting paid from YouTube. I'm more than willing to tell people what I get paid from YouTube. A good month, an average month, doesn't bother me. I don't care. And I try to do good things with it. I do pay my expenses now, but that's it. Oh, what's going on, Buttercup? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Frisky. Yeah, if it's two-party, it's legal as long as you make them aware of it when you initially call, or there's a beep every 8 seconds. Yeah, it is, but it is my business, but I don't have anything to hide. I mean, people are curious. I can tell you those Social Blade and all that stuff's bullshit. YouTube is getting better than it used to be because my popular videos, they would tag them not suitable for most advertisers. And because of that, all the money went out the window. And even though I do have a lot of videos up, you wouldn't believe the views you have to get to make money. A good safe rule of thumb is $3.25 per 1,000 views. Yeah, I don't think that I would count on a website before I recorded somebody's phone call and expected to use it. I find a lot of bullshit on there, and where I normally find it is with regard to private detective licenses. They're just wrong. They don't know what they're talking about. So if you know someone and you want to record them, check your state. Call the Attorney General. Get it right out of the horse's mouth, and call the Attorney General in the state where you expect to record the phone call. Don't take any chances. Oh, too many peanuts? You know, I didn't feel good yesterday either, man. I thought, my God, I mean, really bad yesterday. Not till about 7 o'clock at night. I thought, man, something is going on here. Now, today I didn't take my Claritin D with my Wellbutrin, but I felt good when I got up this morning. It seems like I'm getting enough sleep, but maybe I'm not. I felt like, I'll tell you, this is how I would describe it: liver failure. I had liver failure one time by an incompetent University of Michigan rheumatologist that didn't check my liver enzymes and kept me on sulfasalazine, which some people have a reaction to. And that's what it felt like. Not quite as bad, but I didn't meet the symptoms of liver problems other than the feeling. I think it could have been, honestly, there's a blood pressure medication that I should be taking that I don't. And I thought I'd take it last night. I think it could have been just a day of a Claritin D, a antidepressant Wellbutrin, a triple latte skim coffee drink, and a half of Bistolic later on. Could have just upset my stomach. I don't know, but I felt like shit. Actually, I went right to the internet last night. It's like, you know, I've been struggling with this depression. I mean, big time. It doesn't seem like I do when I'm on here, but I do, man. In a lot of ways. I mean, it's not like crying, screaming, gonna kill myself. God, I wish I had a girlfriend. It's not that. And it's not loneliness. It's just a feeling of wanting to escape and just clueless on how to do that. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, just like suicide ideation. I'm sure a lot of people have it. And I have no reason to be depressed other than bad genes. But man, this last 10 months has really been a bitch, man. I barely hang in there some days. I know it doesn't seem like that when I'm out fucking around with these videos, but it is. That's what's kept me from doing a lot of things. I was depressed on all those trips I took out west, down south, and I'm just trying everything I can, including titrating this antidepressant medication. I've tried them all. You know, it was only about 45%, 60, well, depends on which one you're talking about. The one that I have, I mean, if you get 50-50 on success at an antidepressant, it's more than they expected. So, you know, I know that I got my work cut out for me. I gotta get lucky. I'll tell you something that's interesting. When I was listening to that pain lecture last night, this is sobering, unfortunate news that happens to be factual. And this is really I really got me a little depressed thinking about this. But do you know that a third of people that get knee replacements, I'm talking about a total knee replacement, don't get any relief from pain? And that is the exact opposite of what I'd ever read or what I'd ever heard through a lecture before. That is not good news. But I will post this link to this Dr. Daniel Claw, CLAUW, on this latest lecture he did a year ago, and he basically sums it up in 45 minutes. And it's about pain in individuals and pain receptors and sensitivity, and you're not created equal. There are people that are just very resilient to pain genetically, and there are people that are super sensitive to pain like me. And it's all in the central nervous system and the way pain is sent from these areas to your brain and how it's interpreted into what level. It's very complex. Something interesting to read if you get a chance is the gate control theory of pain. The gate control theory of pain is fascinating. Pain is subjective. And there's still doctors out there that think everybody that claims they have fibromyalgia is nuts. But if you have a pain issue, I think this all links into like a lot of things: irritable bowel condition, Crohn's disease. There's all a big behavioral genetic link to how this stuff manifests itself. Here's one thing, Wellbutrin, and I was guilty of this myself. This is like one of the gifts that keep on giving. When you have mental illness, look, I'd rather that I didn't have it. Now, I was reading this book that I just showed you about, and it was kind of interesting. And this is a way of looking at it, and I never thought of this. And this guy mentions in this book that if you could empty your body and mind, zero it out like a calculator, and someone from outer space, another planet, could enter your body and be you for a week, then exit your body and go back to where they came from, how would the narrative read? How would they have interpreted a week of being you, articulating it on paper? And I thought, God damn it, man, I never thought of that. This is not going to be very good. I'm thinking, well, I don't want that happening. Who's going to read it? But I'd never had that angle sold to me before. And that is something, because they're going to objectively be able to go back and describe being you mentally and physically. And how would they feel? What kind of grade would they give you as a person? Yeah, did somebody say something I missed? Oh, but what I was going to say is I'm Wellbutrin. The point I was trying to make, I get distracted pretty easily, is nobody wants to be mentally ill. I'd like to be a guy with a 10-inch dick that just won 6 gold medals, that was marrying a supermodel. I'm not. I don't want to be an old guy in his last legs, depressed, that can't get out of bed most days and has laundry sitting on the top of the chimney outside. I don't want to be that, but I am. And that's a tough pill to swallow. So some comfort is when you take these antidepressants, I don't want to have to take a 33-ounce syringe every morning. I don't want to be that crazy. In my mind, I want to just take a little bit. And hopefully it works, because that'll say to me that I'm just a little bit crazy and not a total full-blown nut. So what comes along with that is you'll do what I did. Even though 300 milligrams is considered a therapeutic dose for Wellbutrin, I fiddly fuck around and swallow one with my triple latte coffee in the morning that's only 75 milligrams. And if I'm having a good day, then maybe having a bad day, I should say, I'll take another 75. Still only half the titration of the recommended dose, and I'm wondering why I don't get better. I don't get better because I'm not taking enough of the medication. When a drug comes to market, particularly a drug like Wellbutrin, They've given it to 10,000 rats, 20,000 monkeys, and a group of controlled human beings in double-blind studies. That means they don't know what they were getting, and the doctor doesn't know what he was giving them. And they've determined that 300 milligrams is the magic number. So here I am, waddling along, not getting any better, taking a small dose as opposed to a mother load, because I don't want to be that full dose guy. It's fucked up. Another reason why I identify with working girls that are drug addicts. It's all between the ears. It's nuts. Crazy. So I upped the ante, and now I'm going on, I'm taking the 300 milligrams, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's normal, Brian. And I'm not saying that there aren't other ways. I mean, happiness is a moving target. What made you happy 5 years ago, may not make you happy today. It's tough. I'm not trying to get up and dance with an imaginary Julie Andrews every morning, like in Gone with the Wind. I just want to be able to get something done, which has been absolutely impossible for the last 10 months. I thought for sure, and this is how your mind works, I thought for sure that once I quit collecting and once all that stuff out of my basement was gonna be gone, that I was really gonna get going, and that was and everything was gonna be fine. Well, you know what? That's coming up on a year this September, and I haven't done a goddamn thing. Then I thought, well, the winter, I'm depressed. I'll wait till the summer. Well, I've just blown through the spring now. All my brushes are in the wrapper and all my paint's still in the can. You gotta be careful with Wellbutrin and anxiety. Actually, they placard that all over the place. Evidently, there's somebody out there grinding it up and getting high for it. But Wellbutrin, it can give you a seizure if you take too much too soon. And they have a recommended top dose. So I don't know. I think let's put it this way. I would try other medications before I used Wellbutrin. And for that reason only, that's enough. When you look at all the antidepressants statistically, Prozac still does better than any of them. Didn't work for me, but it has a better batting average. Well, Bugman, it's the old adage, if you want something done, give it to a busy person. I mean, I know some people in their 80s that run circles around me. They get 10 times more than I'll ever get done. Cleaning, painting, moving. My sister had neighbors that were like 82, and they decided to build a new house and move. And I thought, man, you couldn't offer me $1 million to do that. Yeah, I tried Lexapro. I had a bad experience with that, though. I think that's what actually drove me off the deep end about 4 years ago. And I know when I got locked up that the psychiatrist told me that with my condition, it was one of the worst drugs that they'd given me. But psychiatrists, I'm telling you, man, it's not like different auto mechanics. You go in, your muffler's making noise, you go out, it doesn't make noise anymore. Psychiatry isn't like that. I mean, they're always changing the diagnosis, the medication. It's just a big, huge, giant gray area. Oh, did it, Jadid? Wow. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, you don't want to have a seizure, that's for sure. You don't want to have a panic attack. People do that with THC. They make it, all of a sudden they legalize recreational marijuana, and you get these gummies that look like something you'd hand out a kid at Halloween. And before you know it, you've eaten 2 gummies without reading the back of the bag, and you've taken 40 milligrams of THC and you think you're having a heart attack. And you go to the emergency room and you get a $5,000 bill. And if you've told the truth, they're going to tell you drink lots of water, go home, you didn't have a heart attack, you're going to be fine. That's an expensive lesson. If you lie, you're going to leave the emergency room not knowing what you have. So it's a wasted trip. Lying to your physician or your psychiatrist is shooting yourself in the foot. It's hard to tell the truth sometimes. People lie to their doctors all the time. I get a buddy, it's a doctor, and they lie when they say they're having sex and lie when they say they're not. Which is why with any young female, an early pregnancy test is mandatory, even if they come in with a toothache. They've got it busted off in their ass too many times. Yeah, side effects, they're not all bad, which is how Viagra came to market. That was originally a heart medication. Before you know it, all these old guys were walking around with a heart on like they had in high school, and they said, hell with the heart medication. They dropped it for that and used it to get a good woody. By the way, those are about $30 a pill for the non-generic. Can you believe that? I found in my life that dick, when it's not getting hard, there's a good reason for it. And the last thing I want is a bottle of those laying around. They say if you've had an erection for over 6 hours to go to the emergency room immediately. Not happening. If I have an erection for over 6 hours, I'm going to have the biggest giant blowout party you've ever been to. That would be a cause of celebration. Fireworks, party favors on every table, full bar, strippers. We'll even hand out Bibles. It is, Buttercup. It is. Oh, you got a nice car too, Blue? Hell yeah, man. Be so great. Seriously, what the issue with that is nerve compression, nerve damage, which is why they don't want to move people with spinal injuries. You don't want a lesion on your spine. If you had an erection for 6 hours and didn't do anything about it, there's a very, very good chance those nerves would be damaged and you may not ever have one again. Maybe that's what's going to take to paint my room. Hey, Gigi. Yeah. I didn't realize this till about 5 years ago, but evidently young college kids take Viagra so they can get drunk and perform. Be a good time, wouldn't it, Chris? Yeah, I never smoked marijuana. Oh, cool, Blue. Do you ever drive it around, or is it you just got it sitting in the garage? No, they're a pain in the ass. I get them from Chicago all the time. It's also how a lot of these stalkers on YouTube have these sock accounts. These fake names and these fake phone numbers. Oh, good for you, Blue. Oh, that's cool. Did you have to move all that stuff out there from Pennsylvania, or did you acquire it after you were there? Oh, thanks, Chris. Yeah. Oh, cool, Blue. Well, I think I'm going to sign off here, you guys. I'm going to go in and re-up my membership to this weightlifting gym. Hopefully I'll show up one of these days. So I hope you guys have a good day today. Again, impromptu chat was great. We covered it all. Thank you, Buttercup. Yeah, I hope you feel better. Yeah, you too, Penny. Have a good day. Yeah. All right, work in progress. You too, Janine. See you, Bugman. See you, Emma J. See you, Blue. See you, Conan. See you, Letha. See you, Dana. Okay, John. Yeah, have a good day. See you, Renegade. Yep. Yeah, you too, Frisky. It was a lot of good time. If you need any of those books or you want a thing, just email me. I'll run it for you. Give me, if you do that, send me whatever you have. Name, approximate age, and city. I'll send you the report in a PDF file. See you, Conan. See you, Lauren. Yeah, well, a ways away from that, man. I think I'll go straight to the Richard Simmons trampoline. All right, Chris. Yep, see you, Virgil. Yeah. All right, you guys. Have a good day.